3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Forex Trading Show. Forex trading live every weekday morning. Real trades, real profits, zero analysis. Set back, relax, and get ready to profit. And now, your host, Terry from FXWithTerry.com.
Good morning, welcome. Live Forex trading Friday morning, end of the week. Little bit of movement, un poco. You can see we still have some trades that I was calling out yesterday that were blue yesterday, and it's really indicative of the fact that the market's just going sideways. It's like they waited all week, probably a week, to move everything yesterday on that major U.S. news movement. It is what it is. But, you know, you see the contrast between trading our standard currency pairs and then also the high profit feed, US 30, gold, things like that. So you see that, you know, gold moves, has a move every morning, every day. US 30, about 50-60% of that time, and standard currency pairs are just flat. All the movement goes off of the news. We will take a look at what's going on next week with the news, but these are the free signals in the group. Very valid trades. I'm in them on a multitude of other accounts. They've been blue for a couple days here. In fact, I believe the NZD CAD, if you look, let me see if I can zoom out here. Yeah, if you can see this at all. The price wicked down within a pip of the take profit and then did a little bit of a pullback. It is what it is. That doesn't mean it's going to reverse on us. Either way, the algorithm, the mathematics work out perfectly. So pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Let's see here. So we are going to, again, not much to say, but you certainly could enter a Euro NZD buy trade, or you could enter an NZD CAD sell trade. They're damn good trades. One of the things I've done, if you've heard me in the other live videos, is I've moved the premium signals over to the full auto trading group. So once you get premium signals, you get everything. Once you get full auto trading, you get everything. And what I'm doing is I'm taking, and we'll take a look, if we can, we'll take a look at the account closures. I don't want to give away the trades, but you know, these are good solid trades. You will profit from these trades. They're already in profit. Had you entered these earlier and you want to get out at profit, both of them are there right now. We will look at the Euro NZD chart real quick here. But these are great trades to be in, and Euro NZD looks like a really good one. Interestingly enough, and I'd have to kind of look at time frames, but it looks like this may have touched the take profit area, and in fact didn't take profit. If that was the case, and I can't really, we might have entered over here, which is probably what we did, and it just hasn't come back yet. If that ever happens, it's because of the spread, but I highly doubt the spread was that high. So I just have to look at the entry time. We probably entered right here. But still, that's a great trade, and we've got a decent, short, tight way to go for take profit, which is right here on the screen. Awesome trade. In fact, as I look at this here, I feel like I'm going to scale into it in some of the accounts I have this. I'm going to scale into it this morning in some of the accounts I have. So terrific trades. As far as closure, nothing overnight on free signals. But if you look at for the week, looking extremely good. We had that big AUD USD that hung in there for a while and all of a sudden popped into take profit. So as far as realized profit in the free signals account in the past 7 days, $3,377.27. You could have bid more. You could have bid less. It's up to your account. That's the nice thing about this system. So when people constantly come into my brand new system and say, "Can I see your MyFX book results?" and I'm like, "On what size of account? What broker? What leverage?" It's unique to you. What would you have bid? And they quote a bid, and I'm like, "Why would you bid that much? Why are you trying to overtrade your account?" "Well, I don't know what I'm doing." If you don't know what you're doing, don't ask for my FX book results, because people will lie to you and show you something that's not relevant to you. I could show you a $10 million account, and you're planning on starting your broker account with $100. That might or might not, you might not like the $50,000 drawdown that my $10 million account did. You're like, "Oh, that'll kill me." No, it won't. On a $100 account, that means a 50-cent drawdown. You know what I mean? So it's all relative to you and what you want to do. So enter these trades, scale into them more. If I was talking about anything, I really like the Euro NZD right now. But these are both great trades. Now, I know in the auto system, NZD CAD is in a lot more than just 2. I think it's in 4 to 5 trades. And I've been scaling into that over time, over the past few weeks, or over probably the past week, this week. So, yeah, back to, I was kind of finishing the thought of the premium signals. What we do is I send all of the trades from my main algorithm. It's called the 10 pip automation, but I send them over. I call them premium signals. And what I suggest you do is you put it on, and this is just kind of a piece of my system. I suggest you put it on like a $100,000 account at minimum bid size, so you can now, and we'll go look at it, you can now see all of the trades in the system. Like you're seeing a very, for free signals here, you're seeing a very small subset of what's available. When you can see across 22 currency pairs what's going on, it's like seeing through walls, and it just gives you absolute superpowers to be able to jump into trades. And or if you're using the automated system, you can still glance at the premium signals feed and go, okay, volume's a little high, volume's low. This might be a good trade I could jump into because I want a trade right now. Whatever the case may be. So I'm going to pause here, and what we will do, since I'm talking about it, is let's jump over to the premium feed, and I'll just show you what's open right now. No, I won't show you what's open. I'll show you what's closed. I don't want to give away what's open. I'll show you, I'll give you an example before I show the screen of how many currency pairs are open, and I'll show you what's closed in the last 24 hours and in the last week. So let me pause there, pull up my account list, and find out which one that is, because this is a brand new account I started sending this to. 137, here it is. So I'll give you an example before I show it on the screen. We are in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 different trades. And again, this allows you to see through walls. And if I'm going to pull up the history here, so the history of what has closed overnight, $943.08 worth of, and these are sent out as a signal. You could take these automatically. I don't suggest you do that. What I suggest you do is use my main 10 pip hybrid, which is a hybrid. It's a subset, and a much more controlled subset of the main feed. And it is designed to not run away on you like some currency pairs can in certain markets, certain high impact news events. But this is looking really good. If you look at this, I want you to understand the power of my system. Okay. Every trade closed since yesterday of doing this has closed in profit. Every trade. Every trade. All with a net profit. Again, whatever you bid. So if I had seen this at the beginning of my Forex career, I couldn't have got my wallet out fast enough to get in and get access to something like this. I looked for years. I've had this algorithm running for, I believe, 18. We're right around the 2-year mark. When I say 18, it was like 18 months, but it's right around the 2-year mark. So it has just become more and more and more perfected. And as far as an auto trading feed, I am the absolute most proud of my recent iteration, which is called the 10 pip hybrid. It trades groups, currency pairs. I grouped them together, 2, 3, 4 pairs that do not currency cross inside of each group, and it's looking good. We will look at that next. That's why I bring it up. So we will look at what the 10 pip hybrid and slash the, because I have an account where it shows the 10 pip hybrid trades, and it also pulls in the high profit trades, which is gold, US 30. And we had some nice trades this morning. Not as much volume as I wanted. They pushed. We got TP1. I don't believe we got any take profit 2, take profit 3s, but it backed out on us, and it backed out at basically break even. So overall, profitable day in the high profit feed. So let's move on to that. I will pause here, and I'll pull up that account. That account is 773, and we'll see if this is going to continue to work out for us the way I'm looking at this, because it could be confusing by the fact that I'm pulling in the 10 pip hybrid trades and also the high profit all at once. But I'll be able to, we'll look at the history here. There's literally 2 trades open right now on 1 currency pair, and it's managing them into profit. I'm not going to show that, but what I am going to show is the history here. So what we got as far as closed trades, $3,249 for the day, and you can see that all of those are the high profit feed. There are no standard currency pairs closed, so I'll kind of walk down through this and show you what we did. So this one happened during my sleep last night. I wasn't even aware of this one. I didn't even hear it fire off. I was pretty tired last night for whatever reason. So that's an incredible trade. We actually got TP1 and TP2, and then it backed out on TP3 and just closed out at break even, 0. That's an awesome trade. That is an awesome trade. So that was nice to wake up to that. And then US 30, we jumped in, and I'm trying to look at this here. I guess did we get all 3 TPs in US 30? It's almost looking like we did. I'm trying to look at the numbers here. Yeah, I guess it's just based off of when it was closed. We did. I was wrong. We got take profit 1 in US 30, take profit 2, and take profit 3 with some really nice profits there. 1,600, 1,000, and 203 at the end. Derek says, profit, profit, profit. Yeah. And, you know, I'm not going to lie. We weren't too happy yesterday with the market. But as you can see, we're going to get back. I tell everybody this. I told someone this yesterday. If you look at this on a minute-by-minute basis, on an hour-by-hour, if you look at it on an afternoon basis, you may or may not be happy. You know, we are up for the week. We are absolutely up for the week. In fact, before I get too far, let me glance at something real quick. So I'm going to pause real quick and let me glance at one thing. Yeah. So let me come back to the right spot here. And then I'll share this. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't revealing too much. But this is really nice. Now, think about what I'm going to give you and everybody's going to jump on this and think that this is the Holy Grail. If you look at what I'm doing here, now you'd have to have a big enough account, but to have the 10 pip hybrid and the high profit feed going into one account, it's the best of all worlds. You got to have a big enough account and or bid low enough to be able to sustain it. But what you'd see is the high profit feed, the gold, US 30, it has other things, NAS 100, SPX 500, US oil. Those don't trade as much, or really very much at all. But if you were pulling these gold trades and the US 30 trades and the 10 pip hybrid into an account, when I say the best of both worlds, the two worlds are this. my main currency pair feed, if you really want to look at it and you want to look at the success of it, it is intended to outpace the S&P 500, certainly on a yearly basis. It will probably outpace the S&P 500 on a 30 to 60 day period. Okay, certainly, let's be realistic. You can outpace the S&P 500 with my 10 pip hybrid on a 90-day period. Okay, so over a yearly period, that's what it's intended to do. But to look at it daily, like today, we have no closures of standard currency pairs in the 10 pip hybrid feed. Now, if you go look at the premium signals, which is the every trade, we had what, almost $4,000, $3,700 worth closed. So it's kind of like it's a perfect balance. The idea behind the 10 pip hybrid is that it's standard currency pairs in the most conservative way you can trade. When I say conservative, meaning you're not trading two USD pairs, you're not trading two British pound pairs, where if one British pound runs away, now you've got two currency pairs inside of an account that's running away. My mathematics, my algorithm always win. They always end in a net profit. In fact, if you look, as I'm mentioning it here, this third gold trade backed out at a minus $3.90. That's break even, right? It just backed out. The price backed out on us, hit the stop, and it got out of the trade. So that's basically what happened there, and that's pretty typical. Like when we set take profit 1, take profit 2, take profit 3, take profit 2, and certainly 3 is a little bit pie in the sky. We're like, well, here's the structure of the market. That's what my AI does. It sets a take profit at previous high and low structure points or price points. So it's reaching for it. Do we get to TP3 sometimes? We did on US 30 today, right? We had that news came out 7 a.m. my time. It's currently it's 9:52 a.m. So 7 a.m. my time. A couple hours ago, we had some US news, and what it looks like, and it did, if you look at the chart, we did a buy trade here, and that US news pushed the price, just gave it a little bit of nudge up, and we ended up getting all three TPs. So back to my concept that I'm not saying anybody should jump on, but if you had a big enough account, and I have a few, you could put the 10 pip hybrid feed and high profit gold and US 30 on there and get the best of both worlds. Standard forward moving currency pairs, which are intended to outpace the S&P 500, and the high profit / high risk feed, gold US 30, that can produce a shorter term income, certainly a higher return on investment over a year period. I haven't even had it run in a year. I can't imagine. I mean, I don't want to speculate. I've taken some small accounts and did 50 to 80% return on investment in a month. I'm not saying you can do that. I watch the signal come in, or I watch the signal. It takes the auto trade on my account. And sometimes I add in manually. Last week I lost about $1,200 doing that. Degenerate gambling style, right? That was kind of, when you get burned like that, then you kind of pull it back. I've even pulled back, the bidding on some of my accounts. Overall, and here it comes, no matter how much of a bath we took yesterday on gold, because gold was just all-time high, all-time high, all-time high. No one's really expecting that. But if you look for the week in this account, it's up. Now, this is gold and my 10 pip hybrid together. This account is up $72,222. I get that seems like a lot, but that AUD USD trade that we had, and I was bidding what, $10 a pip on all of those trades. Pretty freaking amazing. Pretty amazing. And if we scroll back through, you can see even yesterday taking some hits on gold didn't affect this at all. A hit on US 30 didn't affect it at all. We're still in a net profit, and we just have some nice trades up here. You can see predominantly right here, you can see, obviously we had those AUD USD trades, but gold hitting. Let's see here, US 30 hitting, US 30 hitting, US 30 hits hard if your account can handle it, right? But even at a 10 cent, a 0.01 lot size US 30 does pretty well. It'll also run you right into the ground. Let's not lie. But I mean, look at these trades. Even taking a hit, I think this might have been last week on a gold sell, completely recovering from all of that. Look at this US 30. Okay, you can see how that will hit your account, but none of that matters. Those are not losses, because I'm looking at this at the end of the week going, I'm up $72,222. Okay. Yes, this is a big account. Yes, I'm bidding aggressively. But I'm not coming up against any sort of limitations. I'm bidding for the account. I'm bidding appropriately for the account. And there's a lot of discussion on that. What should we do? And I give you references. I'll give you this one. This made me really think last night. Someone wanted to get started with the high profit feed, and they were waiting for some deposits. And they said, and you know who you are. It doesn't matter. I'm not pointing anybody's name out, but it's a concept, right? They said, well, I got $500 in my account. Can I turn the high profit feed on? And I just kind of sit back and I went, well, you could. I mean, why do you think I call you guys degenerate gamblers? Why am I the leader of degenerate gamblers? I'm like, you could turn it on $500. It's pure degenerate gambling insanity, but you could. And then I started thinking, since my high profit feed sends out signals, or the automated trade to your account at a 0.10, a dollar lot size, obviously a $500 account is not going to handle that on a gold trade. But I got to thinking, and I haven't done this yet, and I think some of you guys even have, so let me know in the comments, is what we do with the copy system we use, Social Trader Tools, is we set a multiply factor. So if you did a 1 multiply factor, you'd be getting a 0.10 or a dollar lot size gold trade on your $500 account. Probably blow it right out. Might survive it, but probably blow it out. If you take a loss, you'd probably lose, 75% of the account. If you took a win, you'd probably do a 50% profit on that type of an account, right? 30-40% at least in one day. So obviously that's very degenerate gambling style. But I was wondering, and I haven't tested this yet, and I think some people have, if you set the multiply factor to a decimal point, like 0.5, I believe that would send the 0.10 trade at a 0.05 trade. And I was like, if that's true, can you set it at 0.1? So 10%. And I think you can. So I was like, well, we could hook gold up to your small account till you build it up, and we could set it at a multiply factor of 0.1. I believe you can do that, and it would greatly reduce. I hate to test it because then we'll just, blow it right out. But I'm like, well, if you set up a demo, we can test it. I just have not tested that. If you guys have, let me know in the comments. In fact, I think Mark has done that. I don't know if Mark's here this morning. Mark says, yes, I've done that. Okay. Let me put that up there. Mark says, yes, I've done that. All right, cool. That's what I thought, but, so I'm going to set that person's account up today, and we'll get them going. And I don't suggest you do that, right? But, it's your money. It's your risk. You could ask me, hey, let's test something on $500. I'm like, here's $500. That's fine. But other people are like, well, that's my entire account, and that's all I have. Yeah, Mark says the lowest I've gone is 0.5. I know that's what I thought, but we're going to try a 0.1 today, and we'll see what happens. I will confirm with that person first. I don't know if they are listening. I'll confirm first and say, hey, do you want to try this on demo first? But we'll see. So what are we, 20 days out of Vegas? You guys have not really told me. I think I know like 1 or 2 people are coming. Ultimately, what I want to do is have dozens, maybe hundreds of people show up in Vegas every year for the Degenerate Gamblers campaign. Let's call it the Degenerate Gamblers Convention. I know there's a bunch of bougie, highbrow people with their nose up that don't like the word degenerate gambler. Forex is gambling. It absolutely is. I mean, these people that are like, I love to see it. I meant to do this. Maybe as a Friday bonus, I'm going to show you this. I will show you this. I pulled up a video where a guy draws, he sees the pattern of currency movement on the chart. He draws a pattern on it, and then he says, well, play the rest of it. And the pattern just goes in this direction. And I'm like, what a scam, right? This is gambling. It is absolutely high risk gambling. You're rolling the dice. What we have here is automation and algorithm and artificial intelligence that's trading this. And even yesterday, my AI algorithm had struggled with the fact that gold was going through the roof. It just kept selling, and the gold would just go up and it would sell because it's used to that market structure where it pushes, pulls back, pushes, pulls back. It didn't do that yesterday. It pushed, then it pushed farther, and then it pushed a little bit farther, and then at the end of the day it pushed really far, and then just before then it pushed harder again. We're like, what the hell? We even took, I think, did we take a sell at just after market close? And that one went against us too. I was like, all right. And everybody was getting kind of upset. But, again, look at it over a week at least. Look at it over a month. I mean, this one's up 72,000 for the week. Even though you see up there, I in this account took like a $21,000 hit on US 30. You got to gamble. You got to risk. You go to Vegas, you keep all your money in your pocket. Did you win anything? You didn't. You didn't. That's why the martingale concept, which is what I use in gambling in Vegas, is to increase your bid when you take a loss. So that begs the concept that if you're going to bid, maybe you ought to bid something a little more realistic on the front instead of going all in. I posted that meme in the group yesterday. I said, I'm going all in. I'm all in, man. Well, I wasn't really all in, but yeah, you know what? Doug makes an excellent point, and let's not. I'll put this up here. Let's not think that the term gambling is some sort of negative thing. You're gambling with your life when you get on an airplane or a motorcycle or in a car, right? Or you walk out the front door or you cross the street. Doug says, even starting a business or real estate is gambling. It is, because you don't know what the market's going to do, whether it's going to be up or down, or the house is going to burn down, or the insurance company isn't going to pay out, or taxes are going to go through the roof, or you're going to get a squatter, right? There's all kinds of risks with, for example, real estate, and certainly a lot more than I even said. But I think there's a motivational speaker, and I play it all the time for myself. The guy says, you don't want to take any risk. Go ahead and spend your life taking no risk and then wonder what it's like, what you could have had at the end of your life. He says, it's all risky. Everything is risky. So I don't want to lean too much on that, but it's important to know that because people are like, here's a great example. I was at the bar the other day having a drink, and I was explaining to a friend of mine. We were looking at some trading stuff on our phones, and I was just talking about it, and people could hear what I was saying, right? And they knew this guy, but they didn't know me. And they said, are you getting into something bad? Or, don't get scammed again. And I was like, there's no such thing as a scam. There's bad decisions. Are you saying that this person makes bad decisions? Or there's no such thing as a scam. Of course, I was a little offended. I'm like, listen, here's my advice. I'm a jerk. I'm an asshole. Okay. It's okay. I own it. In fact, when someone calls me an asshole, I will literally calm my voice down and go, finally, somebody who gets me. I'm finally understood. It warms my heart. But I said, don't take financial advice or advice at all, certainly financial advice, from people that aren't doing better than you. And I'm not cutting anyone down. I'm not saying you couldn't be a bartender and a billionaire, but you're probably not, right? If I'm the patron and you're serving me, not always the case. I'm not being rude, but I'm like, don't take advice from people. Maybe here's a better way to say it. Don't take advice from people that aren't at least doing something that you wish you wanted to, or wish you could, or is part of your goal or dream? Pretty simple. Maybe you don't want to live like me, but you want to trade like me, So there's still something I'm doing that you may want to be able to do, right? I mean, I'm out here living in my RV in the desert all by myself. You'd think if you ran into me that I was the poorest soul out there. Holy shoes and dusty shorts, and I'm living my fucking dream, man. You live in the desert for the winter, you're going to get dusty. I was looking at my motorcycle yesterday. I'm like, this brand new motorcycle is just covered with dust. There's nowhere out here to wash it. I'm chomping at the bit to go to the Colorado River in a couple weeks and go to a car wash somewhere, right? But it's all about what you want to do. Typically, there's a book called The Millionaire Next Door. You should go read it. You get to see who the millionaires really are, and you wouldn't know that these people have any money to their name. They're not showing it. So I'm getting off on a rant there. What we will do is a couple things. Let's go look at the news real quick, and then at the end, for fun, I'll show you this video and rip on this guy that is literally showing you and showing the world something that is, if you don't know, you are so manipulated. It goes back to the mind virus concept, and I want to kind of point it out to you. I've been wanting to do this, and I probably should do a video. Doug says, good book. Yeah, that's right. The Millionaire Next Door is absolutely amazing. They're like, I'm paraphrasing, and it's been years since I read it, but they were like, the guy that's wealthy, that has millions of dollars his house is paid for, he drives a used automobile, but it has brand new tires on it. He wears worn out, holy Levi jeans, maybe not too holy, but they're worn out, with brand new shoes, brand new tennis shoes, white shoes, pristine white, right? It's just subtle little things like that. I really liked the concept of the real millionaire drives a used car that is in good condition, it's kept up well, but it's a used car. It might even be an older car. It's got brand new tires on it, right? And a brand new muffler system on it. So things like that. I've always been that way with cars. I've never been into it. Like, I will literally buy a car and drive it into the ground. I bought back in the day, I think back in the early 2000s, I bought this used SUV. And about 3 months after I had it, I literally paid a couple grand for it. Because I was like, I don't care. I've had $80,000 cars. I just didn't want anymore. I drove that SUV. I was telling this to a girlfriend of mine the other day. I drove that SUV with the check engine light on for 13 years. I was like, they're like, doesn't that worry you? I'm like, when it blows up, I'll drive it off the side of the road, call somebody, come pick it up, and I'll go buy another one tomorrow. I ran that thing into the ground, right? But I'm just not, I'm not a car guy in terms of wanting to drive around. I have a new car now, right? But I will drive my current truck into the ground. I'll probably have that. I might have it the rest of my life, right? It's not even a year old yet, but nonetheless. So let me put this up here so read this. Derek says, that's why I'm here. I do what I want, when I want, to give and live like no one else. Yeah, absolutely. That's the key. I certainly live like no one else, but some people probably wouldn't like my lifestyle, right? I am purely free, debt free. I'm free. I have no payments. I live free. My energy, right, in a winter has come from solar, a little bit of generator. It's fun, right? I'm sure that if I ever decided to search for or meet a significant other, which I'm not really into that very much, they would take a lot of convincing that I was doing anything in my life. I've met smart people where they're like, what do you do? I'm like, I don't do anything. It's been tough. They look at me and they, over their eyebrows, they're like, yeah, you're doing something. It is what it is. Everybody's got to live their own life, and I certainly live my own. Nothing I do would impress you, maybe other than the trading, other than the freedom. So let's go look at the chart real quick. Give me a second to pull this up properly, and then I'll share my screen with you. Not chart, actually what we're going to do is look at the news. So let me pull this up. There we are. I was looking at when the news launched. I think it was right here on this green candle push up. And I think we did a buy somewhere around in this structure here on US 30. And we got this news push up. Actually, it was this one. It's this one right here. So this pushed up pretty good. And then it did a nice finish out to take our TP3. But let's go look at the news. So today we had this US dollars. And this US dollar news, that's the one I was just looking at on the chart. But let's look at, so this is Saturday, Sunday, Monday. U.S. news coming out at 5:30 a.m. for me. That would be 8:30 Eastern time. And British pound at 11 p.m. So U.S. news, core retail sales, Empire State Manufacturing and retail sales again. That might move some stuff on Monday morning. So we can expect that. Tuesday, we got the CAD at the New York Open. And then some British pound, Canadian again, New Zealand dollar. Yeah, there'll be some movement on Tuesday. This is Wednesday, British pound and Australian dollar early in the morning. And let me look at something here, because now let me look at what the date. So this is showing the 18th. So this is next Thursday. U.S. dollar at 8:30 a.m. or 5:30 my time. Unemployment claims, yeah, that'll move the gold, the US 30 SPX. I'm going to try to be set up to trade these with that news trader. I know I've talked about that. I've just been working on some other things to perfect, the FX with Terry Brand here. And then nothing next Friday, interestingly. So we're going to get some movement Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it looks like, and no news on Friday. So maybe we'll have a decent volume week next week. Now let me do something. I'm going to come back and see if I can share this video with you. So give me a second. I'm going to set it up on my phone here, and we'll see how this plays out and make sure you can hear the sound. I got to look through it. I saved it. I saved this from TikTok, I believe. So give me a second. It might be a little hard to find. Could be this one. Let me look at it first myself. Nope, not that one. Not that one. All right, this is going to be harder to find. So bear with me. I think this is going to be worth seeing. I think this is it. Stand by. Let me see if this is it. Yes, this is it. Cool. So I'll pull this up on my screen and share this with you. I don't think there's no noise to this. I think there's probably some sound, but I'm going to put this full screen here in a second. Let's go here. And here's the video. I actually had to record it because I couldn't save the video. So let me back up a little bit. All right. So you can see where I recorded here. Let me put it full screen on my end. I just want you to watch what this person's doing. This is Mind Virus 101 when it comes to Forex trading. So let me just play this, and we can rewind if we need to, but I'll try to it goes pretty fast. I'll kind of try to walk you through it. So what he's done is he's drawn a pattern on, so basically an up, down, up, down, up, down. He's like, here's the bottom, and then here's what happens. I think he says we enter here. Look how much of a scam this is. He's like, we enter here because the price is going to go this way every time you see this pattern. And oh, look, it blew up through, and oh my God, we were right. So here he starts it again. He goes, let me draw you a pattern. So the price is consolidating. It's going sideways. Whenever it does this, you notice that you have a triple bottom. 1, 2, 3. And he's like, then when it breaks out of that basic resistance zone, he goes, what you do is you buy right here because we know that the price is going here. And then, wow, look at that. Every time I saw that on the internet, I went, I'm pretty smart guy. I'm gonna go memorize these patterns. And I'd follow this pattern. I'd literally sit there with a cup of coffee staring at the screen. I bought indicators to tell me when it was doing this. Trying to order block indicators, right? This is called an order block. And then on the breakout, you buy. About 10% of the time would that work out. The rest of the time, you get a propulsion candle out the top of that channel, and then it just run down and trend down. I'm like, that didn't work. So what he's showing you here, and this is what's really unfair. It makes you believe, look at this guy's smug face. Look at this scammer's smug face. It makes you believe that that must be how it works. And when you're dedicated like me, I put my whole life. Because if this worked, this is what we'd be doing right now. In fact, Mark can remember when we used an indicator. It was like $150 a month back then. I think it's like $350, $450 now a month, called Trade ATS. Nothing against those guys, but it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit because it never, ever, ever worked out that way. But for these guys to henpick and go through and because look at, he just hit play forward. He's on TradingView. You can do this exact same thing on TradingView. You can look at you can go back in history, and then you could just start playing it from that time that it played out to the perfect place that you see it play out. And look at, like I said, that smug bastard's face just lying to you, because it don't do that every time. Did it that one time, makes him look like a master. For your average low IQ person, they're going to see this. Mark says, yep, ATS. They're going to see this. They're going to go, wow. And what do you think this guy's offering? A course. He's offering a course. Come on into our course and take our trading course. Because guess what they show you in the course? They only show you this movement. They don't show you that we entered here and it backed out against us, and now we've got to learn how to lose or how to hedge and trade out of it. And what happens is, especially if you're trading the trend will do exactly that. It will trend against you, and it's like it never comes back. It's the craziest thing. I believe, and I'm going to pause here. I mean, are you guys getting it? Do I sound like a complete jerk? Let me know. I'm sure I sound like a complete jerk, but that is just the biggest scam. Oh, I got the other one here. I'm going to pull it up. Hold on. This is good. This is good. Let me see if I can share the screen. So again, exact same concept here. He's showing patterns, okay? Candle patterns, the hammer, the tweezer top, the three white soldiers, the Maribozu, right? Watch this. This is the mind-altering bullshit that you will see out there that you just want to ignore. So whenever you get a candle like that, you always buy. Whenever you get two candles with huge wicks at the top, you always sell. Whenever you get, and I was like, wow. Let me just tell you this. I'll pause this. If the people moving the Forex market are the big banks, and if the big banks are dropping hundreds of millions or billions or trillions of dollars to move a currency pair, they're doing it with an algorithm. Okay? They're doing it with an algorithm. They'll literally have an algorithm that will see, this is going to mind fuck you a little bit. They have an algorithm that will see that there's a bunch of sentiment in the market. See if I can say this right. Where there's a bunch of people that are buying and there's no sellers. So they will sell to you at a higher price and buy back at a lower price, or vice versa. They will literally see that you want to buy, and they'll sell, because that's the only way that they can fill the order in a manipulative way. And you'll buy at a higher price and then have to get out at a loss. Like the algorithm, ding, 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 ding. So the algorithm here is smart enough to recognize these patterns and, like, look at this one right here. It's smart enough to recognize this pattern, the three white soldiers. I don't know why they fucking call it that, but whatever. And to know that, well, we can manipulate the market with money over the next three candles and sucker everyone in to do what? A buy. And then what do? Tank the price, because they have the money that's manipulating each of these candles. You don't think the algorithm knows exactly how much money of the bank's money, let's say trillions of dollars. Let's say they got $1 trillion, and that's not unrealistic. The market trades what, 5-6 trillion a day in movement. The algorithm goes, all right, I need to set up a white soldier sucker move. So it knows exactly how much of that $1 trillion to dump into the market, because they're gonna trade $1 trillion, right, that day. It knows exactly how much to get this size of a candle, and then this size of a candle, and then this size of a candle right here. And they're like, sucker it in, sucker it in, sucker it in. All these retail traders, sucker in, sucker in, sucker in, sucker in. Boom, send it the other way. Oops, that pattern didn't work out. Oh, well. I memorized it, though, so now I'm brainwashed into thinking that the three white soldier pattern is the way to go. Let's finish playing this one out. The Maribozu, right? Always sell with the Maribozu. Morning Star, oh, that's very common. Always buy with the Morning Star. And then the three inside down, oh, yeah, always sell on that. What the fuck? Shut up, right? You're insulting me. I don't know what you even mean by that. Denise, they're not moving it with tweezer tops. I don't know what that means. Well, they are. They know what the pattern that you're looking for is, or that retail Forex traders are looking for, and then they move it that way. My system on my algorithm ignores all of that, and it trades obviously with AI and volume and sentiment. Are there a lot of buyers? Are there a lot of sellers? I'll give you an example. If you were the bank and you see that everybody is buying, which way would you move the price? Can anybody answer that? If you see everyone is buying a currency pair, the sentiment is buy, and the bank wants to get in on the trade, what are they going to do? They're going to tank the price. They're going to take out all your stops. That's how they make money. Mark says, what the hell do you call the gold pattern yesterday? 10 generals? Right? Oops. That didn't work out very well, did it? You memorize those patterns, and those patterns will not always play out. Denise says sarcasm. So, not to get off on a rant, but when you see stuff like that, I'd laugh. And frankly, when I was brand new, I didn't know what I didn't know. I would watch that and go, oh man. Like that order block concept, you got to admit, Mark, listen, we were suckered into that. It looked so good because they would show you every time it happened. And then the indicator itself would repaint. Repaint me, which really pissed me off. I'd sit there all night sucking down coffee, start trading at 2, 3 in the morning. And 5, 6, 7 o'clock, we'd get the pattern it would paint. And I'm like, okay, guys, buy. I mean, it made me look like such a fool, right? But I was like, buy. We have to buy the indicator for $150, and we're going to buy here. And then we would just lose our ass. And then all of a sudden, so the pattern would paint. You'd see the box, and then the price would jump out the top of the box where it had consolidated. And we'd go, okay, buy. And then we'd buy. The price would move sideways a little bit. And then all of a sudden, the box and all of the indicator that had painted on the screen when we should trade disappears. Because, oops, the price pattern wasn't what we thought it was. So we're going to unpaint that from the chart. We're like, what the I'd be in a trade on my $3,000 account, which took me years to finally be comfortable enough to put $3,000 in there. And I'd lose it the first week of following that indicator that I was like, this thing repaints. Well, yeah, I mean, sometimes, I got with the developers in a company. I'm like, come on, you guys, what? I'd screenshot it. I'd record it because they're like, well, maybe your settings are wrong. My settings aren't wrong, man. This is repainting. And luckily, smart people like Mark hung in there enough and knew that I was going to eventually figure it out. Would have been nice if we figured it out back then, but we didn't. And I think I paid for that trade ATS order block indicator for about 3 months. Then I moved to another one, the market structure trader. He's awesome, goes live every day, but pretty much all of his trades that I see him posting lose. I just don't see him doing well, right? Because when you trade live on the internet, it's like watching grass grow. It's like watching a snail crawl across the United States. You won't live long enough for that to happen, right? So anyway, that's it. Friday morning, April 12th. I will see you on Monday the 15th. Taxes are due. Do what you, at least in the United States they are, right? I don't think there's anything else I want to tell you. Have an awesome weekend. Looks like everything's just going to kind of go nowhere the rest of the day. We'll see. But we had a good week. A little bit of a rough emotional day on gold yesterday, but we got some recovery done today, and we'll make up for it next week. We're still, if you've traded properly, if you've at least just took my signals, you're up for the week. When I say signals, the trades I'm sending out, the automated trades, you're most likely up for the week if you just took my automated trades. If you started doing some manual stuff or you started overbidding on your account, well, might be in trouble. But anyway, that's it. I will send you out with my new announcer voice, and I'm here to help you guys. I'm in the group fxwithterry.com. Come on in, start profiting in the Forex market. Quit messing around. I'll see you soon.
Thank you for joining us on the Forex Trading Daily Live Show. Get access to all of the free trades with full auto trading at fxwithterry.com. Be sure to subscribe and get notified of the daily live stream. And get ready for your next profitable Forex trade.